Hey guys, so today I want to talk about gray rock. If you've been watching my channel for a while, or if you've coached one-on-one with me, you probably know that I'm not a big fan of the gray rock method. Now, I realize that there are times when it's valuable and it can be very useful. I think what happened was a lot of people were learning about this tool on how to deal with narcissists or psychopaths, and they were misusing it. And by misusing it, it was causing them extremely difficult side effects that were creating devastating consequences in their life. And that's what I want to talk about today. So to begin with, let's talk about where this concept came from. And basically, it was started by a blogger named Skylar, who had a conversation with somebody, a complete stranger, and she was explaining to them what was going on in her relationship with the psychopath in her life. And the advice that she got from that person was to just be boring. Be so boring that the person just doesn't want to have anything to do with you. So from there, she coined the term the gray rock method. And I'm going to read directly from that article. I'm also going to leave a link to that article in the description box below. Gray rock is primarily a way of encouraging a psychopath, a stalker, or other emotionally unbalanced person to lose interest in you. It differs from no contact in that you don't overtly try to avoid contact with these emotional vampires. Instead, you allow contact, but only give boring, monotonous responses so that the parasite must go elsewhere for his supply of drama. When contact with you is consistently unsatisfying for the psychopath, his mind is retrained to expect boredom rather than drama. Psychopaths are addicted to drama, and they can't stand to be bored. With time, he will find a new person to provide drama, and he will find himself drawn to you less and less often. Eventually, they just slither away to greener pastures. Gray rock is a way of training the psychopath to view you as an unsatisfying pursuit. You bore him or her, and they cannot stand boredom. And then it says what it's for. Making a psychopath go away of his own volition is one application of the gray rock method. One might say that gray rocking is a way of breaking up with a psychopath by using the old, "it's not you, it's me" excuse, except that you act it out instead of saying it, and the psychopath comes to that conclusion on their own. Okay, so that's probably not new information for anyone here that's watching the channel, but again, I want to talk about when it is being misused and what those consequences are to people that are misusing it. The article itself recommends certain areas where this tool would be useful. In one instance, she talks about if you have a boss or a coworker that is narcissistic or an emotionally unbalanced person or a toxic person, you can use the gray rock method so that because they're not seeing a rise out of you, right? And that's basically what they want. It's all about getting you mad, upset, losing your cool, or acting in any way that is contrary to the real you. That's what they want. So when they don't get that consistently enough, then hopefully the thought is they'll move on to some other coworker. Another instance that the article recommends that it can be useful for is if you are counter-parenting, right? Because it's never co-parenting, but if you're counter-parenting with a toxic person. And the point of using it at those moments is if there's something that the toxic person is doing that you don't like, by ignoring it, by not responding to it, the toxic person then stops jabbing you on that point because they're not getting a response. So in their mind, they're thinking, okay, that doesn't bother that person, so let me find something that does. It's a way of diverting their focus to things that are not as important to you. And the article uses a really good illustration about birds, how if there's a predator around a bird that has fledglings, it will pretend to have, the mother bird will pretend to have a broken wing, showing itself to be vulnerable so that the focus of the predator is not on the babies or the fledglings, but on the parent. So using gray rock in that method for that reason can put the focus on the toxic person trying to focus on you as opposed to the children. That's another thought that's put in that article. And then the final suggestion is if you are with a psychopath and your life is in danger. Okay, my advice to anyone whose life is in danger is to find safety first. You know, forget about any tools, forget about outsmarting, forget about playing the game, just get to safety. That's my advice. But in the article, for those that can't do that, it mentions that sometimes it can help you to buy time as you plan your escape. Okay, so even the writer of the article recognizes that this tool can be used in certain circumstances. Okay, so let's talk about why gray rock can be detrimental. Okay, why it can have such bad consequences on people that are putting it into practice.